Hello, welcome to Sally's Sewing Bee. I'm Sally Thompson and today I'm going to show you how to tailor a curve. That could be an inward or an outward curve in leather. Now the thing with leather is, as with other materials that you might work with, is that you need to get rid of any bulk that goes into a seam, otherwise it can look really quite ugly. So I'm going to show you how to do that with leather. You might be making a bag, or you might be making some other object out of leather. Or you might be applying some leather to, say, a fabric jacket, maybe a collar or something. And the thing is, you want it to look really, really neat, and you need to make the bulk from the seam dissipate. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Let me come up to the table and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so what I've got here, I've just fashioned a couple of curves. There's the outward curve and the inward curve. Now the inward curve is going to need to be slashed. So what I'm going to do, oh by the way, the leather, which is lovely, it's a lamb napper. I've backed it with a backing material called iron-on backer. You just iron it on, it's heat activated adhesive, so it kind of sticks to the suede part of the back of the leather. And I cut it so that it's 1 centimetre smaller than my curve, because this part is actually the seam allowance. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so my work down on the table, I'm going to cut in, it's a little bit rubbery because it's actually rubber solution glue, I've already glued it up. I'm cutting about 2 mil or so from the sort of rollover point of where my the edge of my leather is going to be. Let me go. Now, this is a bone folder. It's a hand tool for working with leather. It's used widely in the bag industry and also in bookbinding. I have actually shown you this if you've been watching any of my other videos, like the zip, putting a zip in. So it's the same process. So I'm getting the leather to sort of stand up. So I'm keeping my fingers right towards the edge of my work and making this stand up because it's glued. It's kind of sort of standing up to where the glued edge is on my iron-on backer. Then I'm going to gently stroke it over. There we go. Now, if I needed to make this an even sharper edge, and it is quite a sharp edge with this iron-on backer edge, I could put a piece of card, a very thin piece of card, which was the same curve, and that would give it an even sharper finish. So I'm just going to go over that. Right, then if I turn it over, you can see that's actually quite a nice curve. I would, in the real world, I would work on this curve a little bit more, probably just smoothing it out a little bit more and working with a folding hammer or a finishing hammer just to get an even sharper edge. Okay, so that's the inward curve. Let me show you now with the outward curve. So again, got the lamb napper, which is sheep leather. This time I'm going to use the edge here, and I'm just going to stand it up first. Let me just stand it up a little bit. Here we go. So it's the same process. I was just trying to jump ahead there. Okay, so I've stood the seam allowance up against the edge of the iron-on backer. So this bit is all glued and this bit is all glued. Yeah. Then I get the edge and I kind of just go like that. Up. There we go. So I'm just sticking little bits in, just nipping it in, so it kind of looks frilly. There we go. Right, so obviously I can't leave it like that. So to make that bulk dissipate a little bit more, I'm going to go halfway along each of those again. There we go. So they're kind of done in half. Then I'm going to go halfway along them again. So each time I do this, the frills are getting smaller and smaller. So the leather is getting more manipulated the more I work with it. So you can see now, I don't know if you can see that, the frills are actually getting really quite small. There's very little of them left. Okay, so I'm just going to smooth that now, and again in the real world I'd probably spend a little bit more time doing that, but here you can see that actually makes really quite a nice edge. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching that video, and I hope it's been of some use to you. That's the most important thing. If you have any questions, please always do contact me via my Facebook page, Sally is Sewing Bee, or you can contact me by email, sallyaintnosaint@gmail.com. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.